Record the session. Okay, so you can able to see my screen. So yesterday we have learned what is business intelligence and why data engineers are required actually. Okay, I mean this is only because of business intelligence. But for that stuffs we cannot directly take the transactional data. Whatever there is transaction at the source system, maybe SAP, some .NET framework is there, maybe mainframe framework is there. But the data is getting something. I mean, somewhere the data is getting stored, but we are not directly working with that data for our business intelligence. We need to clean the data, transform the data, and we have to load everything in data warehouse with proper manner, with proper uh, normalized version, normalized way. We need to store the data in various tables. That is called the data mart as well. In the data mart, we also, I mean, we told that it should be fact or dimension in nature. We need to segregate what are the facts, what are the dimensions. Based on that, we need to create the table. Okay. So I'll be just going through more with more deeper with some more knowledge on dimensions and facts, and then we can quickly go through how to create the data model. Okay, data. What is data model? Data model is very much important. So the data model, I mean, signifies what should be the relation between fact and dimension. Okay. So the main perspective of architecture for the data engineers, they can create the data model first. Okay. Then gradually they are creating the fact and dimension. So it's a top-down approach. So first of all, they are checking what should be our KPIs. Okay, what is KPI? That should I'll be also coming today. So KPI that is been shown in dashboard side. Okay, so to create this kind of KPI or dashboard, what kind of fact and dimension are required? So you will be required to create the data modeling. Then on top of data modeling, we need to create the respective fact and dimension. Then checking the fact and dimensions column, we need to populate what kind of columns and source tables from the source system itself. So the entire approach should be a top down based on which thing we need to see in the dashboard, then which particular column or which particular table we need to fetch from the source system. That thing we'll be covering for today. Quick introduction for that one. So let me quickly recap fact and dimension one more time in my first 3-4 slides. Okay, so hopefully the other persons has also joined and they're continuously joining. Okay, maybe they'll be checking the recording as well. Any issue for understanding from anyone till now, till yesterday's session? Anything is there? No one? We are all clear? Okay, fine. Okay, just quickly a quick recap. What is fact? Fact should be also called measures. That should be uh mainly it should be a quantity. Okay, so just like how much or how many, if we question on top of data, what answers we should be receiving, that should be our fact data. Facts are also called measures. Those are the some example: revenue, cost, number of accounts, and fact table should contain all the facts. And without facts, we are also having some of the key columns. Those can be primary key of the fact table, and the rest of the thing should be foreign key of the other dimension table. Those foreign keys should be used while creating the data modeling part. This is very, very important. What is data modeling? I'll be coming to this topic after some slides. So just keep in your mind that how fact tables look like. Those columns are fact, the below columns, and the top columns are primary key and foreign key. And the foreign key will be used to connect with dimension table, respective dimension. So just like uh, over here, you can see stored key is there. Stored key should be used with the stored dimension joining. Stored key is a primary key of a dimension table that is called stored. Product key is a primary key of a particular dimension table called product. So those particular key should be using over here for the joining purpose. Okay. So now what is dimension? Dimension is just like if we question with who, what, when, where, what are the answer we'll be receiving from the data side. That is our dimension. Okay. So it is also called a master data as well. Over here we have the example of customer, geography, time. Those are all called dimension. Okay. Just like I give an example, store and product. Those are the two example for dimensions. In store, we are, I mean, collecting all the store name, address, and all. Product should be all the products available for this particular I mean, industry or particular outlet. So just a quick question. I also told you this thing yesterday. So fact should be having huge record, and fact is containing the transaction level data. So whatever I mean, maybe the fact is getting updated each second. Okay, each second there's a transaction in a particular outlet. But suppose the product table should not be updating in within a second, because maybe for a particular day new product has not been launched yet. Okay, so dimensions are very slow changing. So we are also having some strategy for slow changing dimension. I'll be coming to this later. Just comparing to fact and dimension, fact tables are refreshed quite often, and dimension table is not too much fast. The frequency of refresh of dimension table is slow. It's like when the things will be updated, that can be stored over there. For store as well, for product, anything. Going to the next slide. Okay, so those are the new stuffs we'll be learning from today onwards. So grain and granularity. So grain and those are all required for fact design. So only the keys and the quantity measures are not the sufficient one. So actually we need to know what is our motto to represent the fact. How much transaction level will be storing that data. So those can be answered by grain and granularity. Those are a terminology. So maybe your business user or BT, business technical person, can say you need to make this sales factable or billing factable with having this grain. Okay. Then what is grain actually? Grain is a business definition of a factable row. For an individual row, what it signifies in the factable, that is called the grain. Okay. So let me give you an example, then that should be clear. There are two examples I've cited over here. So this is a factable, you can see. Here there is sale ID, bill number, date, item code, store ID, quantity, amount. So all those columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see those are kind of ID. Those can be foreign key from another table. Sale ID is not a foreign key, it's the primary key of this table, transaction table. But the other 1, 2, 3, 4, those are the foreign key. It should be from another dimension table as well. Okay. Now, the main two columns in this fact table is quantity and amount. Okay. It's one kind of fact table that's called sales fact table. Now, what is the grain of the fact table? That is sales transaction per item in a bill. So we can say in this way, sales transaction per item in a bill. If if I mean our business, sometime our business BT will say to our architect in this kind of logic. They will not directly mention what kind of columns we need to take in the fact. They can only just tell to our architect that please go ahead and create the logic for the fact table where the grain should be just like this. Then the architect need to think what kind of columns we need to pick up from the source system and all to create the fact table. Okay, just there is another example. ER, batch, exam name, student name, subject, marks. Okay, so marks is the main fact. So the grain of the fact can be said just like marks of a student got in a subject in a particular exam. Okay, this is the grain. A particular row signifies what thing? Okay, so a particular student got marks in a particular subject and for a particular exam as well. Okay, so this is it signifies, that's why the grade is very much important. Now, what is granularity? Okay, so granularity means how much detailing we are inserting the data at the fact table. So, maybe suppose how can I give an example? Okay, I think I have given example in last session as well. Let me open an Excel sheet. Okay, so we are talking about granularity. So granularity contains grains always. So what kind of detailing level we are storing the data? Suppose I'm storing class number, marks. Okay, so just like class 9 will be having total marks. If I'm putting marks, then for class 9, there should be a marks. Marks should be just like all the students receiving what marks. Okay, this kind of stuff. Maybe 10,000 marks they have received. All the students, if we're adding this for 8 is it's 9,000. Okay, but the granularity is very high. It's low granular. Sorry for my that bad. So its granularity is very low. So now if we want to have some more granularity, we can add another extra column called section. Inside a class, there may be various section. Okay. Let me insert some rows as well. So suppose there are four section over there in class 9. I'm not taking about class 8 anymore because, okay, four section I'm taking. So it's more granular in level. So 10,000 we can divide into. So suppose I'm just putting the average marks. It should not be there. Should be the absolute value. Just like this way. We are going ahead with more granularity. Then if they want with the roll number as well, it should be more granular. Individual level marks should be there. Okay. So based on our requirement, how much granularity should be there in the fact table that we need to check or you need to determine while creating the particular granularity data. So if we go to business transaction, how much granular will be there for the fact table? The fact table size would be bigger. The more line items or more records should be inserted there, and the fact should be splitted again. The fact means the measures value should be splitted into more granular level. Okay. So the more high level granular, it should be transaction level. Specifically, it should be when it's a shop, when you're collecting data. Maybe you're not putting every columns over there, what there is transaction level. Then all the columns should not be there. Some aggregation function should be used there, and we can sum the data or we can have an average value of the data stored at the fact table. This may be the scenario, or maybe if user wants that the data should be transaction level, no matters how many records should be there. So keep it in this way. So then we need to have a bigger table and near transaction level, we should be maintaining high granular level over here. Okay, and granularity level should be mentioning just like summarized or aggregation. Okay, the things are clear. Okay, hopefully yes. Now it's time for slow changing dimension. So as I already mentioned, the dimension is already, slow change in nature. But how we can store the dimension value? There are several strategies. Over here, we can go through in the topic um, type 1, type 2, type 3. So it's called slowly changing dimension. Dimension table is updating or refreshing, not daily basis or not very much frequent. If a new dimension is getting added, suppose we have the store dimension. If a new store is getting added for a particular brand, then only that particular table should be updated. Maybe a particular store has been shifted from its previous address to a new address. Okay. So then that particular table should be updated. And I mean, when it should be updated at the source system, the same should be updated at the target. But the particular changing frequency of the data is very much slow at the dimension side comparing to fact. So how the loading strategy is there? So we can take it into three way: ACD type 1, ACD type 2, and ACD type 3. Let me give you an example. I have prepared it in my earlier session. It's called ACD example there. Okay. So first of all, just check type 1. This is the thing. For type 2, this is the thing. And for type 3, this is the thing. Example. So first of all, concentrate on type 1. Okay. Let me just border it out. So we have an employee table. So employee dimension is there. We're storing employee related information in employee dimension table. Okay. So where we have four employees at the beginning. So just like 1, 2, 3, 4, we have the arbitrary employee name this and their designation. Now from the source system, the employee information has been updated. How that can be updated? Just like we can see ABC, the new trainee has been, the designation has been promoted to developer. Okay, he was trainee for 1 year. Now his designation has been updated to developer. Okay, so we can till yesterday the we can what we have received at the source system we just loaded in this way. So today onwards we can see the particular trainees, that particular designation of employee ID I1 has been updated to developer. So our ETL job has run successfully to load or refresh data from source system to target, and we directly update employee ID's one's designation to developer. We are not maintaining the history one to trainee. So this is ACD type 1 example. We should not be storing the history information for a particular dimension. Okay. So we can directly update what we are receiving. So this should be the loading nature for ACD type 1. So now the second topic is ACD type 2. Here we need to maintain the history as well. So what should be the example? I just gave you an example over here. Here we are introducing a new column called date with the employee designation. We can see those three columns are same, identical in nature. Just we have introduced one new column that is called date. Okay. So how should be the loading strategy of type 2? We are receiving the same information at the source system, what we are receiving for SC type 1 and type 2. No changes in the source system, but this is the change of loading strategy at our target site where we are storing data mart. So here is a change in the loading strategy for SCD type 2. Here we are maintaining the history. Just like over here, you can see employee ID 1. We maintain the historical one. And now the record has been updated to developer. We did not update this record. Rather, we kept it over here. And we have inserted a new record. Just like one employee ID 1 has been updated to developer. And the effective date I also put over there. Okay. So starting from 24 Jan, when the next job ran for data refresh from source to target. Okay. So when the job ran has been completed successfully, then the particular, we can see in the employee table that the designation has been updated properly. Okay. So that is the loading strategy. And we need to determine, not actually we, the architect, the architect or the owner of the business, they will be telling that we need this kind of dimension. Because if we are having this kind of dimension, maybe someday if we need to know what was his previous designation or maybe what particular designation a particular employee joined to the company, we cannot see anything from our target data mart system. So that's why mainly we are following, or the data engineers are following the loading strategy for dimension in ACD type 2. Okay, we should be keeping all the historical record in this way. Okay, did you want to get it? Any concerns? I'm not getting any response today, so it's fine for everyone till now.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, thanks, Devi. But if there is anything, please keep asking. This is very much conceptual. Maybe if I am even going for an interview today for changing any company or anything, so there must be the question should be there for ACD type 1, type 2, type 3. What thing your company will be decide, and they will be giving us scenario just like this. You have this kind of dimension needs to be stored at table inside a table. So what strategy you will be following, why you will be following this, those kind of questions. Till now, I'll be receiving. Okay. So it should be for freshers as well as experienced everyone. But the concept, as much as concept would be clear, then as much as you will be accustomed with your work. So maybe if you, I mean, if you are fresher, then your, I mean, lead will be guiding you for creation of this kind of stuff. But maybe if you are 1 or 2 years senior, then they'll be just telling, I mean, your business lead or business architect, they'll be just telling, create this kind of strategy over there. So you just need to create with your concept and all. Okay. So the last one, the last option is actually type 3. We can also use that kind of stuffs. So this is how we can load this kind of stuffs over here. So just like this three, we have the date as well. Over here, we are increasing one more column that is called previous designation. We are not, I mean, over here, we are not increasing our line items. Here we are increasing one line items. We have inserted one record. We have appended this record for the update of the particular employee designation column. But over here, we are using another new column called previous designation where we will be storing for that employee's previous designation. Okay. So we do not actually, maybe we have the requirement, we do not have to store all the previous designation. So just this year's designation, I mean the current designation and the previous designation, then that is one of the suitable one. But if we want to store all the designation from the beginning and the end of the particular employee, then that is one of the suitable one. Okay. So based on our loading strategy or based on our requirement from the business side, we need to design at our own on this topic. So this loading strategy called SE type 1, this is 2, and this is type 3. And this is very much important, especially for interviewer as well as your knowledge purpose. Okay. Going to the next topic. Hopefully that is understandable. I'm closing this topic now. Okay. Now I'm moving to data modeling. So we are ready with our fact tables. We have prepared our dimension tables as well. Okay. Now we need to create this kind of, data modeling. I mean, which should be our primary key and foreign key. Based on that, we need to join. We are not joining. This is a pictorial diagram only. So while, fetching the data, maybe over here, we need to know a particular row information, particular customer, particular which product they have purchased and all. So we cannot take it there directly from fact because there is only primary key and foreign keys being stored. So if we need to know the product name, we need to join the fact table with product table based on product key, and we need to fetch the particular product name from here for this particular transaction. Okay. This is similar for all customer key, customer table, time dimension table, store dimension table, clerk dimension, promo dimension, register dimension. Lots of dimensions are there surrounding this fact table. So this kind of dimension modeling we need to create as well. This is the most important part for a data engineers. Maybe that kind of stuffs we can create from our side if we have quite experienced over there. But especially if we are working for a large vendor, so they will be creating this thing for us. So they will be creating that entire stuffs, and we need to create the fact and dimension gradually. So this kind of things are called top-down approach. They will be just giving us the data modeling. So here it should be the data modeling. Now create the fact and dimension. So we need to create everything from our side by checking this data modeling. Okay. It's a pictorial representation, and based on that, we can join when we need to know which particular thing should be coming. Yeah, I mean, I give an example based on join in SQL. I did not cover it yet. After today's session, maybe tomorrow we'll be touching up Python. Python introduction should be there. We should be having some time, extra time for tomorrow's session. That time we can solve this problem. I hope you have already solved it from your side, but you can also validate if there is anything, or I can also get any input if you have learned any new thing from your side as well. Okay, so let's connect with that topic tomorrow. So yeah, so those are called data modeling. Hopefully that is understandable. It's a blueprint of entire architecture, how the data modeling or how the fact and dimension should be connected. Now, while creating of the data modeling, if we are creating from the, data modeling perspective, we need to follow some schema approach that is called star schema and snowflake schema. So what is star schema? Okay, let me give you a pictorial diagram first. Yeah. So just like if we follow this kind of diagram while creating the data modeling, a single fact table at the center, and the particular dimension table is surrounding it. So over here, all the dimensions should be normalized in nature. So it's just have one-to-one relationship with the fact table. Each of the dimension is having one-to-one relationship with the fact table. Okay. So there we are not having, okay, this kind of data modeling is called star schema. It's looking like star. Cells, cells is a fact table, and surrounding it is, those are the dimension table. It's looking like a star. That's why it's a star schema, and it's very simple to implement. Now the previous thing is there. The star join schema or star schema is a single fact table joined to a set of dimension table. It is named as star schema as it resembles as a star. In a star schema, a central fact table is surrounded by multiple dimension tables. Each dimension table has its primary key as a foreign key in the fact table. So the simple concept that I have already conveyed to you, just like star schema should be this in nature, there is another schema that is called snowflake schema while creation of the data modeling. So how this thing looks like, I given practical example over here. Over there, you can see this is a fact table. Inside the the fact table is fine. We can see customer, organization, time. Those are the dimension. Till here, geography and product, it's fine. But the product table, we did not keep it in normalized in nature at that level of view. And we want to make it more normalized in nature. So we can directly, and those kind of dimensions, we are not directly joining with the fact table. Rather, product is being splitted again for separate dimensions table, just like brand table, category table, just like this. So those kind of, just like brand ID should be present in the product. In the product itself, some foreign key should be present to join with brand. Okay. So fact is not itself containing the foreign key. Dimension table is also contains the foreign key, just like brand over here. We're not mentioning this thing over here, but to join with product and brand, there must be a brand ID present over here. Okay. So just like category as well, we have splitted the brand table with category as well. So we need to have this particular column, key column, to be present there as well. Okay. So this is called snowflake dimension. This is complex in nature, but in the real time, if we do not want to generate all the keys in the fact table, we can go ahead with this scenario. And this is for most of the real scenario, we are using this kind of stuff. Star schema is very easy. Easy to implement or very easy to see or visualize the thing. But If we have lots of dimension, actually for the business purpose, there are lots of dimensions available. So all times we are not able to generate the key at the fact table. Even we are doing some enhancement or we need to tag one more dimensions over there. Then we can directly check which from which dimension we can split it or which dimension we can add it. We can quickly add it over here. No need to go to creation of another key over there in fact table. Okay. So this is the concept of snowflake schema. Those two questions are also important. What is star schema and what is snowflake schema from the interview perspective? Now going to the next topic. What is ETL? ETL we had learned yesterday. ETL should be storing the data from the source system to target. Now a basic concept actually we are storing data in the data warehouse or data mart in fact and dimension in nature. So suppose yesterday we loaded the data. Now today we need to load the new record. What should be there in the source system or new transaction we need to load. Maybe new product has been launched that needs to be stored in product table. Something got updated in existing row that needs to be stored as well in our data mart. So what is responsible for that one? That is called ETL. ETLs are jobs. Maybe they are batch jobs. Maybe there are some tools from where we are creating the batch jobs. Maybe there are some open source language, anything, maybe Python or just like this. So those kind of tools or language we are using as a ETL. ETL is extract, E for extract, T for transform, and L for load. So we are extracting information from the OLTP system, the transactional system over there. We are storing, we are transforming the data, we are cleaning it, we are removing duplication over there, and finally we are loading it at the target site. And that particular process will run daily basis, not actually daily. If the data is very much critical, then that should be hourly basis as well, or maybe that can be live data. That the refresh should be very fast. Maybe within 5 minutes the data is getting refreshed because the data is very much critical for the business to take the decision in every hour or just like this. Based on that, based on the criticality, the ETL job should be running to store the data or to refresh the data from the source system to our target. Target is data warehouse or data mart. Source is OLTP system. Okay. The concept is of ETL is clear to everyone. Okay. So just like a quick note over there. So sometimes the data engineers, if you are quite new for getting a project, you can see some of the employers, some of the associates from you, they will be concentrating on ETL part as a data engineer. Okay. Some of them, I mean, there are various of ETL tools are available in the market. So each of the ETL tool actually, in some company, particular ETL tool is required. In other company, another ETL tool is required. So, I mean, the basic concept is same. I mean, we need to create SD type 1, type 2, what kind of loading strategy should be there. There are various loading strategy as well, from source extract till loading strategy, I mean, till target loading strategy. I'll be coming to this within few slides. But if you have the concept clear, then to get accustomed with the tool, it should hardly take 5 to 10 days. Okay, so it is not a big deal to come up with the ETL tool. There is also, I told you, open source languages are there. So nowadays, particular foundational team, they are not taking license from ETL. Actually, the ETL tools, those are not free of cost. Those are having heavy license cost. Okay, so based on how many users are using, they will be selling their license to them or they will be renting the license. The license cost is very high for monthly basis. So that's why now onwards, I mean, we are also finding that each of the business users, they have their own framework and they're using some open source languages like Java, Python to create those framework. So those framework driven ETL tool, those are not, I mean, licensed or those are not, I mean, taking taking much rupee or much dollar over there. So that's why nowadays they are performing not the tool specific. It should be language specific. Okay, but there are lots of advantage for ETL. ETL means there should be lots of user interface available. So what should be your source? What should be your target? Based on that, we can map the columns between them. So the user interface is very good for ETL. That's why, those tools are also been used. Those tools are not obsolete actually. Those are also been heavily used. Just like Informatica, there are several tools are available. I'll be coming to this thing later in later slide. So those are, for user friendly, it's fine. But who is quite accustomed with coding part and all, they can, get enjoy and fun for framework driven ETL tool. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Okay, so there are two kind of methods are there while extracting data from the source system by the ETL tool. So what are the two things? One is called full refresh, one is called incremental refresh. So what is full refresh? Full refresh is, suppose in the source system we are receiving data, and in the target we are storing the same data. So what kind of extract method we can go ahead from extracting the data from the source system? We can go ahead with full refresh. We can, whatever data we have loaded till yesterday, we will not be bothering about that. Whatever new data should be receiving today at the source system, we will not be bothering about that. So we just take the present instance of the source system, and we can pulling all the records from the source system, and we can truncate the tab. We can push everything, or we can upsert the thing at the target side. Target side, I'll be coming to this thing later. Is for data extract. So full refresh means we will be pulling all the data what is there in the present OLTP system. That is called full refresh. What we will be doing with this data at the target, that I'll be coming within few moments in the next slide. What is the incremental data load? Will not be going ahead with full refresh over here. We'll be checking the delta record. Delta record means till yesterday we have loaded or extracted some data. So what are the new records comes till today? The entire 24 hours, what records we have received, we only taking into consideration those delta records. Delta means the newly achieving records. That is called delta records as well. So this kind of load is called incremental load. So nowadays, yeah, as we are following, big data technology, or millions or billions of transaction per single day, we are following incremental data load for fact table especially, and full refresh, just like dimension. Dimension table should not be containing those many columns, and the refresh strategy is also very slow over there. So for dimension, we can take into consideration full refresh, but the other way we can go ahead with incremental data load in nature for fact and other table, which is having large number of transaction, because full refresh will take much more time. Why we will be killing our time? Because we have already loaded the yesterday's record in yesterday's session. Okay. So those are the two extracting method. Now, how data load strategy should be there. So data load means how we are loading data at our target. That means in data warehouse and data mart. So there is three approach, that is called truncate load. So whatever data we have received till yesterday, we can truncate everything and push all the records. So generally, if we are going ahead with the full refresh loading strategy, we can go ahead with truncate and load. Truncate means we can truncate the table and load all the record again from the source system. That is one method. Insert method. Insert means, insert is also called append. We can append the record from the source system. We'll not be checking whether there is historical record or not. Simply, we'll be appending the record. We'll be inserting whatever data we'll be receiving from the source system. We'll be inserting the thing. And the last one, which is more efficient one nowadays, update and insert method. That is called also upsert. Okay. So what is upsert method? We need to, we need to implement this thing at our target level. So while pushing the record at the target side, it will be checked. What kind of data is coming? if the data is already existing over there, but some of the few of the records has been updated, just like this slowly changing dimension, just like this. Not exactly this actually. Let me give you an example. I'm giving you an example. Suppose ID, product ID. Sorry, it should be product ID. Suppose I'll be getting some new product in my store, a particular television version. Okay. Just like Samsung TV, I'm putting over here. Till now, no Samsung TV was there in my store. So a new product has been introduced called Samsung TV. Okay, I'm wrong. The name is Samsung TV. Name. With some model number. Let me put some model number. S3456. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. The new ID has just putting product numbers is like 3367. Okay. Now we found that a new particular row has been today I am receiving, I mean tomorrow I'll be receiving another new columns uh, with the Samsung TV with not Samsung TV, maybe Onida TV. Onida TV with a serial number S6789. Okay. And ID should be 3368. Okay. So I'm having these two records loaded today, and tomorrow and overnight in the source system has modified something. Maybe they have taken wrong data for Samsung. Putting Samsung, sorry for my bad. Okay, wrong serial number at the Samsung. The product description is wrong there in the same ID. Okay, then in the source system they had updated the serial number to 7, the proper product name that was wrongly captured in yesterday's session. So when loading that particular stuffs at the target side, target will check the primary key what is coming from the source side. It will be checking this thing. If the primary key is totally new, which is not there at the target, they will be inserting that record, like 3369. But if they can check that the same primary key is there, but some record has been updated at the source system, then they will update the same thing at their target as well. So what I'm trying to say, from the source system incremental stuffs, what are the records are coming as incremental in nature at the source system? From the source system, it will compare while it's coming to the target side will compare what particular primary keys we are achieving from the source system. If the primary keys are already existed there, then might be some columns has been updated against that particular primary key. So we can delete those record and just insert those records over here. Just like we are updating, we can delete or we can create update statement there for the loading strategy. Okay. So if the primary key is same, some name or some description, some address has been modified based on this ID, we can update those kind of stuffs. Okay. But if this is totally brand new primary key, we just have to insert these records. That is it. That is the thing we are calling it update and insert. If this is an update column, if this is required for updatation, we'll be updating it. Otherwise, we will be inserting it. In short form, this is called upsert. Okay. Update and insert, that is called upsert. Give me some second. Okay. So till now, any issue for understanding from anyone? Data extracting, data loading strategy, anyone from you? Okay. Um, what is it actually? So I have listed over here what kind of product vendors are there. Actually, those are the various ETL tool. And those are being used in our uh, business scenarios. You can also get certified with any kind of, you can choose any one of ETL tool. obviously which is the most important one in, I mean, business, or you can search up. Then you can have maybe knowledge on top of any one ETL tool, just like Informatica. This is very much popular one. Informatica is a product vendor name, and the main ETL tool, it's been used as a power center. If you just search up Informatica, you can see it's one of the key ETL tool available in the market. Okay, so if you know the all the terminology, how to create the jobs, to load the data from the source to target and all, then you can search for only the job for Informatica only. Okay, for IBM we have the tool called Data Stage. For several, there are several product vendor available, and they are creating their own ETL tool, and they're launching into the product market over there. Now the business owner, they need to think which particular tool they need to use based on the licensing cost, based on the data handling, based on the throughput. What is throughput? Throughput is the data speed. I mean, in a particular second, how much row I'm transferring from the source to target. That is called throughput. So those are all the parameters for a particular architect to choose a particular ETL tool. Okay, so those are all available ETL tool in the market. So specifically, all of, I mean, if you are getting accustomed for say some project, then you'll also be thinking of having one some experience on any of the ETL tool. Then you can go ahead with your career on a particular ETL tool or multiple ETL tools as well over there. Okay. So yeah, my next topic is currently of dashboard oriented. So if you have already seen in yesterday's pictorial representation of data warehouse and data mart, you can see some, I mean, there are visualization teams available over there as well. They're also a part of data engineers, we can say. So what visualization teams are doing on top of this data mart, they are creating the charts and graphs. And by checking who is the decision maker team or decision owner team, they can take the easy decisions. Okay. So from the dashboard perspective, we I mean the from I mean from the business side, they will be telling that in a particular dashboard they need this kind of chart which signifies this particular aim or this particular goal to achieve a metric. I mean, to check our forecasting business, just like they need a particular year-wise revenue. Okay, so this is called a key performance indicator based on which the decision maker can take decision. That is called, in short, that is called KPI. Okay, they can told the KPI name only. The business owner or BUIT, business IT team, they can tell the KPI name, key performance indicator name, and based on that, the visualization team need to create the charts and graphs at their own. Okay, so that should, just like you can read the key terms, it will help us for visualize the performance or visualize the charts and graphs. Okay, so just like in a simple way, you can tell KPI is the key performance indicator, obviously, and it should be helpful for creating charts and graphs by which decision maker can take easy decision. Okay, so what are the KPIs actually? It's mentioned over here in the next slide. So I have segregated, or there may be the main segregation of KPIs. Those can be quantitative in nature and qualitative in nature. And the KPI, just like sales growth, just like we can also tell yearly sales growth. Then we can create a line chart where x-axis I can put the year, and the y-axis we can put the summation of the sales for each of the year. Okay. Then in the line chart, by checking the line chart, we can see what is the growth based on the particular the slope of this line chart. We can check what is the growth. I mean from which year to which year the growth has been maximum. Then we can check what particular necessary initiatives we have taken already in that year or in that particular year, obviously. Then we can maintain the same thing, or we can check some more efficient way in current years and this kind of stuffs. So the KPI is called just like sales growth, quarterly revenue, follower growth. So those are the terminology we can use in KPI. And if they give us the KPI, if I'm the visualization engineer or visualization data engineer, we rather can say, then we can create those kind of charts and necessary dimension and fact we can take from data mart or data modeling, rather we can say. Similarly, we have qualitative KPIs as well, just like customer satisfaction index, product quality. So they can tell this thing, and we need to create the graphs such a way so that our graph is, able to tell the story on top of customer satisfaction. Maybe how we can design it? We can create a chart or create a graph for a particular product versus star. Okay, so we can take in data mart for the customer satisfaction stars they are providing for a particular product. We can make it an average for that and launch a particular rating for this product. And we can create some charts and graphs on top of that. So that is also customer satisfaction KPIs index and all. Okay. So based on these charts and graphs, user can take easy decision whether our product is good in market or it should be having some more loss in forecast businesses and all. So they need to eliminate this or they need to impose some more, uh, more growth on top of that product, just like this. Now, when everything is ready, we received our KPI from the source system and all, then we can create the reports, dashboards, scorecards and all. So you can create those kind of reports. The dashboards are collection of reports, you can say. There may be a dashboard. User can see the dashboard to take the decision and all everything from their side. But to create the dashboard, there may be several reports and charts and graphs as well. Okay. So just like this is an example over here, you can see we have created, revenue over here. And if you just look into it, there is two dimension over here in the x-axis, not only one dimension, two dimension, and one fact is represented in revenue, that is called revenue. And we are creating a bar chart, bar plot over here. So what the two dimension is, one is year, okay, and another one is zone. Okay, so first of all, in x-axis, we are putting zone, east zone, north zone, south zone, west zone. Then each of the zone, we are splitting it based on year. Okay, so two dimensions, we can use multiple dimensions as well. Based on, then we need to choose another chart for, based on our looking or based on our decision maker, they will be accustomed with which kind of chart. So if we are using much more dimensions, there are various charts are available as well in particular tool. Okay, so that is also a capability to choose particular chart which should be suitable for this KPI representation. Okay, sometimes also business owner will tell you that please use this kind of plot, box plot, scatter plot is there. And some distribution chart is also there. Those are some high level charts based on some different requirement and all. But there are lots of things are available in the visualization tool as well. Just like for ETL tool is there, some of the data engineers, they can also start their career with visualization tool, just like Tableau, ClickSense, ClickView, Cognos. So those are just like taking data from this data mart and building their own charts and graphs. So those are also helpful for your career perspective as well. Okay, so you can choose any one of the visualization tool. If you are experienced one or two, then on top of that one only, you can concentrate your development scenarios. Okay, someone is telling something. Okay, maybe I found some noise over there. Sorry for that. So going to the next topic. Okay, in Microsoft as well, I just forgot to tell you. Microsoft, there's also a tool that is called Power BI. Just like Cognos, Tableau, I have told in a few minutes ago. Okay, here are some also, I put some example over there for the data representation. We have the pivot over here. You can see there's a list report at the top.
sales table. We are representing the same sales table, just we are pivoting, I mean, we are just transposing it in the below list report. Just like the years are shown in over here, and we just splitted the year, I mean, segregated over here. Each of the year is representing each dimension. Just we are putting everything in a single dimension, that is called year, and we are pushing it over here, and the cities are mentioned over here, and the facts are passing over here. So just like 2009 Mumbai, we are having this record. This kind of stuff we can tell over here in pivot. Pivot, just we are transposing it, the data. When we'll be learning pivot in Python as well, we can, by in Python data frame, we'll be using pandas, and you can use this kind of pivot by your own in Python languages as well, not using any visualization tool there. We'll be learning this kind of stuffs as well in the next week, maybe when we have some quite experience on top of Python there. Moving to the next slide, here we can see some 3D bar chart is there, also representing multi-dimension at x-axis, and here we can say it's also z-axis as well, and in y-axis we are representing the cells. So over there, I am just trying to say two terminology over here, slice and dice. If you are working with a visualization team, then this kind of terminology, you can get it from your business side. So they need some slice and dice chart. What that thing means? So this is the original chart over here. You can see we are slicing it. Means we are doing some filter operation on top of year 2009. Okay. So you can get only the font. That means the blue color city, that because we have already chosen 2009 from the filter. Okay. In the visualization tool, there are options for drop down filter available there, based on which the user will be filtering the thing. So this is called slice. We are slicing the data, or we are slicing the chart for a particular value of a particular dimension. Dice mean if there is multiple chosen filter over there, then that is called dice. Over here, we are choosing 2009 and 2010 from time filter or year filter, and also chosen in the city filter Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata. Chennai, Bangalore, we did not select it from there. So that's why we can also see this kind of thing. That is called dice in nature. Slice and dice, those kind of stuff. So they can only told that keep the thing in such a way that put the filter, this kind of filter in your charts and graphs, so that we can slice or dice the charts. Okay. There is another terminology called roll up, drill down. So those are the opponent keyword actually. Rolling up means, give me 1 second, please. I have some message there. Okay, sorry for that. Roll up. Roll up, I mean, over there, first of all, what is drilled out? I want to say. So we have taken one list report as well as one bar report representing the same kind of data. Okay, so it's ER in two particular city, Delhi and Chennai. We picked Delhi and Chennai over there, and EROI sales are present over here. Now we are drilling it down. The dimension, the particular ER dimension is set up such a way in the backend that we are providing quarter and month as well over there to create each of the year. Okay, otherwise that is not possible. So it's a capability to create the hierarchical dimension in the backend side. So how to do that? I mean, after doing that, what is the, I mean, exact feature we can go ahead. If we can double click over there on 2013 or single click, a hyperlink should be there. Then the thing will be splitted on top of 2013 only. You can see. So you can say over as well. I mean, it's some more granularity level it are coming now. So it's having 2013 quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, having those. I mean, the records are also been splitted over there. Okay, now I'm checking only one quarter. We are clicking over here. Then inside the quarter, the month level granular, it should be pushing it over here. Okay. The same thing would be happening over here as well. So we need to use some hierarchical dimension in the x-axis or in this list report. Okay, so this kind of feature are available already in those kind of tools which are being used that I mentioned, just like Tableau, ClickSense, Power BI, and all. Just while creating the dimension, we need to think about whether you are creating it maintaining the hierarchical way or not. Okay, so this is very much important. What is called drill down? I mean, we are drilling it down. We are going ahead with more granular level. The exact opposite word is called roll up. Roll up means we are from we are digging it deeper from this thing, we are going it upside. That is called roll up. So those are also key terminology while create of the charts and graphs. So the business or BT can say you directly create this kind of chart, drill down and roll up functionality should be there. Then you need to understand this kind of stuffs. Okay. Yeah, that's all for today's session that we learned for business intelligence. So I just gave you a high level example for the ETL tool as well as visualization tool. What are the perspective of those tools and what are the things we need to cover from the high level? If you, from tomorrow onwards, we'll be going at, we do not have a ETL tool license version over here. Rather, we will be learning Python. Python is a basic from tomorrow onwards. After 2-3 days of learning basics, we can go ahead with uh, tackling data as a data engineer. We will be using Python as Python is a huge topic over there, but we are not covering everything. We just cover some basics and then we can quickly cover to data engineer perspective, what can be used by Python. Okay. So that's all for today's session. Any doubt till now? You can tell me, please. Any doubt from your side? What you have learned today?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Abby, for your feedback. So just if you have some time, just to think, if you want to know something more, search with the topic in website. You can go get some more knowledge and some more business perspective should be understandable. And especially this is very high level. Concentrate on if you are joining in a company, you can just only get into accustomed with only ETL or only visualization, but how that can be linked up or what is the main motto why we are doing this thing. This is called business intelligence, and that is its importance and all.
Hi,
Okay.
Suptik. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me. Yeah, Nitu.
Yeah, that was my question. Like, as you mentioned just now, if we join the company as an data engineer, and if we are working on the existing code and everything, so
Mhm.
how how much is this concepts are like important to understand? Because I know at the interview level, I think these are the things what they might be questioning.
Mhm.
But regarding the job purpose, like how much in-depth knowledge we should be having on these concepts?
Yeah, actually,
Maybe.
whatever we have learned, give me, I'm just giving my personal experience. So when I
Mhm.
have joined as a fresher, okay, so just have completed my graduation over there and let me stop recording. Okay. Otherwise, the recording will be very big.